Good evening, everyone. This video is going to be a trading review and support session for March the 29th, 2023. So this has started out to be a fairly low volume day. We were a little over 200,000, not as low as yesterday, but still kind of a low volume day. Profit target was 4 ticks today, and I stopped trading with 6 points. Could have gotten more as the morning went on, but these low volume days aren't very much fun. So decided to just stop with 6. So market ended up today. It was up during the night as well. So it was opening up, and it did come back down a little bit, but then it certainly finished up. So here's how we ended up today, right around the 50-day moving average. So it was a pretty good day for the market. And if we take a look at the big picture chart, market opened where? About here. No, right about here. And the initial move was down, then it came back up, then a more major pullback about 7:45. I was already done trading by then, and you see the up move, and then the final up move that started later on in the afternoon, a little bit after 11 o'clock. And so it ended up being a bullish close, right? Closing near the all session high. All right, so if we take a look at what was going on, I was kind of watching it. I thought I might end up taking a long trade, but it just never really panned out that way. So here is the open, and practically immediately, right? So the high was up around here, right? Opened in here, but it started selling off. So I ended up kind of getting into this trade a little bit late. I was still kind of waiting for the bounce, and the bounce didn't happen. Getting in here, going short in this range would have been better, right? I ended up going a short a little bit here, right, which is a little bit low, right? It's far away from the EMA zone, but it was already kind of a big move. So I ended up having to add to it here, right? And I was out around here. I'm not sure if I would have gotten out on the original entry or not with the profit target. Let me roll my trading chart back just to check it real quick. Yeah, probably not. 1, 2. Looks like it would have bottomed out at about 3 ticks or so from my entry. So adding to it here in this good area, right, it was good, and got out with that trade. And let me get rid of that, and then the market sort of in a trading range, waiting on it, right between the 2x20 and the minute average. Right, it's kind of coming up, but not much volume. Again, remember, this is kind of a low volume day. Watching it, and I was pretty patient. And finally, it decided to break through a little bit, right? And I got out of this trade there, right? Back down into no man's land, not really doing anything. Low volume, had a pretty good bar, coming from this 1 minute low kind of area. It's really kind of holding on to this 40-40 area. So hit it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, right? And then it started to bouncing up. Pretty good bar here, eclipse there into the EMA and the minute average. So I got in here and got out there with the point. Not going to chase it anymore, especially not on low volume days. No volume here, right? So again, not necessarily going to try to jump on a trade that doesn't have any volume. Then we're getting some smackdowns, right? And I was taking a break right about there, but I came back. Before the 7 o'clock news, so we had a short entry here, right? So smack down there, smack down here, had some volume going in through here as well. So I decided to take a long there and got out right on the volume point of control. It went down another tick or so, but luckily I was able to get out without having to add to it. Here comes 7 o'clock, and here's the news. I didn't know what the news was, and I usually try to wait a little bit, but ended up chasing this thing. It's a little bit too high. It's hitting around value high, right? And so kind of chased it in value high. It pulled back. It held on though, right? So pulling back and to the EMA area, right? Heading away from the 3-minute close. I added to it about here, and actually got out of one unit here, right, and got out of the second unit there, right. So and it ended up, and that was my last trade of the day. So like I said, I didn't trade too much today, and as you can see, the SPAC downs continued. So +6 for the morning, and this was kind of, this is what I was kind of afraid of. Low volume day, the market's kind of up, and my perception is somebody was trying to reduce their risk profile, because that was the smackdown. But you see, there was some reasonable trades, right? I had already resigned myself to not overtrade, but this one was pretty reasonable, right, into the pullback area, right, and had some volume going down. This is a little bit more congested here, but still breaking down through there, and there it is into the slow flex, but we're kind of watching that. It's a pretty big bar here, so you have to be careful there, but still had enough room to get out. So that's like 3. This one wasn't as lined up to the 5-minute moving average, trying to hold on here, but it couldn't do it, and ultimately kind of came back down. So that wasn't a great looking signal. It did have some volume going on, but no expansions. Right, expansion here after being in this pullback area, right, between the EMA and the minute average. Again, no dramatic selling from the top. It kind of goes on a continuation, right, and that would have delivered as well. So probably could have gotten 10 points relatively easy. This is too far too fast, right? So this smackdown is too far too fast. You don't want to get caught in taking a trade at that particular point. And now we're after 8 o'clock, and I really wasn't watching the market too much. And it's got some resistance in these particular areas. Again, this one is this is a reasonable smackdown, right? And it's still close to the EMA, so you maybe could have taken that one, but you would have been trading into the minute average. But you'd gotten close to the VWAP up here, right? Double top, and already had one expansion, had a second expansion, right? So that's a better looking profile to take a short trade, and then we're out. So and this one doesn't look too bad either, right? I mean, it's after 8:30, but it still doesn't look too bad. Coming back, come back above VWAP, came back down to the EMA support kind of area, using EMA and the VWAP as support and expansion. That one went just fine. So could have probably done more. Trying to be a little conservative on these low volume days. I think the new indicator is going to help to kind of characterize what's going on with the day. So I'm kind of looking forward to doing a little bit of work on that, and then showing you, and then talking about it. All right, so that's kind of it for today. A low trading day, but profitable. All right, so have a good rest of your evening, and we will see you in the trading room tomorrow morning.